Let's face it, the Democratic Party has an extremely weak bench when it comes to who will be their presidential nominee in the next two elections. Biden is barely awake in his old age, but who do they really have to replace him? Kamala, Pete, Pritzker, Cuomo, Abrams, AOC, Bernie, Booker, Bullock, Bashir, Bloomberg? Yeah, all of those options suck. But there is one candidate who will actually pose a threat. Today we'll be explaining why you shouldn't dismiss Gavin Newsom when he runs for president. Now, I'm skeptical that he would challenge Biden during a 2024 re-election bid, assuming Biden even makes it that long. But in 2028, when Biden is gone, this guy is the likely frontrunner for the Democratic nomination. I'm talking about California Governor Gavin Newsom. Now, I get it. On the right, we think this guy is a total loser. He just faced a recall election last year. But the fact is, this is the Democrats' strongest candidate. And if he runs against Trump in 2024, he's the only Democrat who has any chance at winning. Now, if you've watched Red Eagle or Don't Walk Run Productions, they have both recently discredited and kind of laughed off Gavin Newsom's presidential ambitions. But here is why that is a terrible mistake. First of all, the guy actually wants to be president. He has the ego invested in a run and would actually put in a real effort to win. Unlike most of the 2020 candidates who really just got in the race looking for a VP or cabinet appointment. Newsom is a real contender. He's the governor of the Democrat stronghold state, and he's already testing the waters in national politics. Just this month, he released an attack ad against Governor Ron DeSantis of Florida, a potential candidate in 2024 and the current frontrunner for Republicans in 2028 in the post-Trump era.
It's Independence Day, so let's talk about what's going on in America. Freedom, it's under attack in your state. Your Republican leaders, they're banning books, making it harder to vote, restricting speech in classrooms, even criminalizing women and doctors. I urge all of you living in Florida to join the fight. Or join us in California, where we still believe in freedom. Freedom of speech, freedom to choose, freedom from hate, and the freedom to love. Don't let them take your freedom.
Paid for by Newsom for California Governor 2022.
That's not something you do unless you're eyeballing a promotion. Not to mention, Newsom has also been hosting world leaders in California as if it were his own country. Newsom is the neoliberal ideal. He looks presidential. Put him next to Clinton, Bush, Kerry, Romney. He fits their aesthetic. The difference is he's 20 years younger and currently in his prime. When he visited the White House this month, he acted like he was at home, walking around without a jacket, and the press just ate it up. He looks like someone you could see running the country. Not that he would do a good job, but the optics are there. Joe Biden wasn't even in the country when this took place, let alone leading it. And Gavin Newsom just happens to show up for a photo op looking very presidential. There's not a doubt in my mind that he took that opportunity knowing full well that it would plant the seeds in the minds of Democrats for his future presidential run. Politically speaking, he's exactly what the DNC wants. He is socially liberal, but can fake being responsible. He's not a democratic socialist like Bernie or AOC, but he's also definitely not a moderate like Joe Manchin or Steve Bullock. On the world stage, he's exactly what a neoliberal world leader should be, a weak, effeminate man. Put Newsom between Trudeau and Macron, and he fits right in. These three could be brothers. Newsom just hosted Justin Trudeau in California to talk about green policy and climate change, again planting the seed in Democrat voters' eyes that he has what it takes to deal with foreign leaders. He's also a member of the World Economic Forum, a globalist through and through. He would probably excite hawkish neocons on foreign policy while keeping progressives in check with his insane social policies. An almost perfect candidate for the Uniparty to coalesce behind. He is young, energetic, charismatic, and photogenic. This is a big one. A lot of people are fed up with our gerontocracy. Clinton, Bush, and Trump are all the same age, all born in 1946. Biden is even older, born in 1942. Gavin Newsom, born in 1967, is a whole quarter century younger than Joe Biden. A young candidate may energize people, especially if he were to run a campaign distancing himself from Biden and his failed regime as a change candidate.
Where the hell's my party? Where's the Democratic Party?
With that youth comes energy. Age is by no means a perfect predictor of energy because Trump has more energy than Biden, Hillary, and Jeb all combined, and he's still in his 70s. But it's undeniable that with a 20-year youth advantage, Newsom will be energetic enough to keep up with Trump in a way that Biden cannot. Even though I can't stand the guy, you've got to admit he has mastered that fake politician charisma, and sadly, a lot of people still buy into that. It may be less than it was a few years ago, but for Democrats, that seems to be exactly what they want. A fake, polished politician. Coupling that charisma with his young looks, he will likely appeal to suburban women who love to vote for handsome politicians. Don't believe me? Ask your mom. Who would they rather vote for? Show them a picture of Newsom and Pritzker. I bet you most of them pick Newsom without even asking a single policy question. When people aren't informed, they vote based on looks, women especially. I will repeat myself again. Newsom looks presidential. He looks like a man, even though he isn't really manly. He's young and charismatic. Those things help politicians win, even when the other candidate is more qualified. His drawbacks? He faced a recall election in 2021, but he survived that with a healthy margin and now considers it another electoral victory. The only other drawback is that he would face off against Vice President Kamala Harris, a fellow Californian, in the primary. But Harris is so unlikable, I don't think he will mind burning that bridge for his own victory and for the good of the Democratic Party.
Where the hell's my party? Where's the Democratic Party?
I'm not saying Newsom is inevitable. He most certainly is not. But as conservatives, we should not be so quick to dismiss him. Newsom may be progressive enough to tap into the same Bernie ideas that energized the youth back in 2016, while appearing more palatable to traditional Democrats and more alive than Joe Biden to independents. His main case to independence is that he is young and that he will be a change candidate away from the gerontocracy, the way Obama was 16 years ago, the way Clinton was in the 1990s, and the way JFK was in 1960. He will invoke that imagery, and it is because of that that we should be cautious. As long as he partners himself with a solid minority running mate, Eric Adams of New York or Cory Booker of New Jersey or someone else, he will lock down the Democratic base. And if he were to do the unthinkable and pick, Liz Cheney as his running mate, that is a unity ticket that could spell disaster for our country. A true uniparty ticket, a neo-lib and a neo-con, working together against a nationalist like Donald Trump, Tucker Carlson, or even Ron DeSantis would be a ticket that is hard to beat. Though I don't see it coming to the latter, the former is still very likely. Gavin Newsom is a wild card we must be prepared for, both in 2028 and as early as 2024 if Biden retires. So don't laugh him off now, because we don't want him to be the last one laughing. Be prepared and take the offensive. That is how we ensure victory for our movement and for our country. America first. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed that video, make sure you like the video, smash that subscribe button, and share the video with a friend. Take care, and God bless.